everybody. My name is Beatdown Boulevard, and I'm here to answer the questions you might have never asked, such as what's Overwatch League? How does it work? Or even, what's Overwatch? So, welcome to the first episode of the ABCs of the OWL. And here I'll explain to you what Overwatch is, the game modes, what heroes are and do, team compositions, and how the Overwatch League works. It's an ability based 6v6 first person shooter with many kinds of heroes, but we'll go into that in the future. Right now, we're going to talk about the game modes. First, we have Assault, or as it's lovingly called, 2CP, because it involves both teams taking turns attacking and defending two separate capture points. Each map has a set capture points labeled A and then B. You always have to capture A first, and then B becomes available upon that capture. You begin to capture the point simply by standing on it, and with each person it captures faster, but it's capped at 3. But if even one of the defending team is on the point, it's considered contested, which means the progress stops or won't even begin. So although it's an objective-based game, the kills do matter. The team's turn ends when they capture both points or they run out of time. In the first round, both teams have 4 minutes upon start, and then an additional 4 minutes when they capture point A. If they don't capture point A beyond 33%, the team that attacks next only has to capture beyond 33% to win. Otherwise, they simply must pass whatever percentage the previous team captures. The same applies to point B. If neither team can do this, the map is considered a draw. If both sides attack and it ends up being 2-2, round 2 starts, and the team with less time left attacks first. If you capture in overtime, remember that word, your time bank gets bumped to 1 minute. This time, however, instead of 4 minutes granted, you only get 30 seconds, as this game mode isn't meant to be drawn out. The next game mode is Escort. In this mode, the attacking team escorts a payload to the last checkpoint. Much like 2CP, the speed is based on how many people are in close proximity of the cart, which caps at 3. And if the defending team are within this proximity, the cart stops. You start with 4 minutes, and each checkpoint adds a minute and a half to your time bank. If both teams take it all the way, during the next rotation, both teams start with whatever time they had left previously, and during this rotation, and all following, checkpoints do not add time. Whoever has the most points when both time banks runs out wins the map. Alright, so you heard me say overtime before, right? So that's when you're out of time, but one of your teammates is still on the objective, and this is in all game modes. You have an unlimited amount of time to complete the round as long as one of your teammates stays on the objective. Otherwise, if you step off, the meter begins to deplete, and the longer overtime goes on, the faster that meter depletes when somebody steps off of it. Hybrid maps are rather simple because they're a mix of Assault and Escort. Simply being that you begin by capturing point A much like Assault, and once captured it unlocks a payload to escort towards 2 more checkpoints. The rules to Assault apply until point A is captured, then the rules of Escort apply going forward. Control is fairly straightforward. 2 teams fight over a series of objectives in a best of 3 format. Each control map has 3 stages, and in each stage there is 1 point that unlocks 30 seconds after the round starts. Once it does, it can be captured by the enemy or your team. Much like other game modes, to capture the objective, at least one member of your team needs to be on it while none of the enemy team are on it. Once you capture the point, a percentage starts to fill up from 0, and you win the round when it reaches 100% at a rate of 1% per second. If the enemy gets you off the point and captures it, your progress stops while theirs either begins or continues. If at close to 100% the enemy team touches the point, it triggers overtime, which will go on until the contesting team gets off the point and the meter runs out. Or they capture it and have their progress continue instead. If one team captures in overtime while they're at 99%, overtime will be triggered once again, and the team who just lost the point will have to try to capture it or lose the stage. This can, but very rarely does go on back and forth. One team must win 2 rounds to win the map. So Overwatch isn't exactly your average FPS, and what you can do depends on the characters you choose, as they all have unique abilities and ultimate abilities that can swing the momentum of a team fight instantly, and they all charge in various ways. For everyone, it charges over time and when you do damage. Support characters that actually heal will gain ultimate charge by healing themselves or their teammates. You can monitor your ultimate charge right here, and once it charges to 100%, the meter turns into the symbol for that particular ultimate. All characters have one with the exception of a particular hero who we'll discuss in the future. Alright guys, so now you know the basics. This is the first of many episodes, so if you like what you're hearing, like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you can watch the next episode. Thanks for listening.